I'd like to call the December 15th Board of Adjustment meeting to order. You want to go ahead and swear in everyone? Or, you know what? I don't have my notebook, so I don't even have what I'm supposed to read about variances. No, I don't have it memorized. I always had a notebook where I could read it. Well, while you're looking for that, do you want to go ahead and swear in all the witnesses that we have here today while we're waiting? And Tyler, I believe since you're new, they need to swear you in too. Make sure you're an honest dude.
All right, this afternoon, we're going to swear in Tyler Newman, who is a new alternate member for the Board of Adjustment. So Tyler, if you could just stand up and raise your right hand. I'm going to read your oath, and then at the end, you'll answer. Okay. I, Tyler Newman, having been duly appointed as a member of the Wilmington Board of Adjustment, do solemnly and sincerely swear that I will support and maintain the Constitution and laws of the United States, that I will be faithful and bear true allegiance to the state of North Carolina and to the constitutional powers and authorities which are or may be established for the government thereof, and that I will endeavor to support, maintain, and defend the Constitution of said state, not inconsistent with the Constitution of the United States, to the best of my knowledge and ability. I will enforce, execute, and obey the laws of the ordinances of the City of Wilmington, and faithfully discharge the duties of the office to which I have been appointed. Thank you. At this time, I'll also swear in staff, applicants, and any members of the public who wish to speak this evening or this afternoon. If you all could please stand up. Do you swear that the testimony you're about to give is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth? Okay, thank you.
Chairman Moore, if I may read the introduction on your behalf.
Absolutely. Thank you.
Hearings before the Board of Adjustment are quasi-judicial in nature. Decisions of the board are based on the record of these proceedings. To grant a variance and to reverse or modify the decision of a staff member requires a concurrent vote of 4 members of the board. I'm sorry, to grant a variance requires a concurrent vote of 4 members of the board, which is the request that's going to be here before you. Evidence submitted to the board for review becomes part of the record. Appeals of board decisions are to Superior Court and are based on this record. Appeals must be filed within 30 days of the date of the filing of the board's order in the Planning Division. A hearing before the board is conducted in accordance with its rules of procedure. Those who wish to testify in a case are sworn as witnesses. The chairperson recognizes those who want to testify or their attorneys for presentation of evidence during the hearing. To ensure that all testimony is properly recorded, please come forward to address the board, state your name and address, and speak clearly.
Thank you.
Mr. Chairman, just to clarify, and Ms. Thurston, this is a floodplain waiver, correct? Not a variance?
You're correct.
All right,
and so it is going to require a simple
majority, and you will not have to follow the 4 findings of fact that are with a traditional variance. This is a floodplain waiver. We're trying to use waiver more than variance because it can be confusing.
Okay, thank you. The first order of business before us today is 4202 Peachtree Avenue, and the applicant has requested to continue this item. Is the continuance through January 19 or beyond? Do we have a motion to continue the item to January 19?
I'll make a motion to continue to January 19th.
A second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Item number 2, 6120 Oleander Drive. The applicant has requested to continue this item. I would assume also to January 19.
Mr. Chairman, we would be looking for the March court date, or sorry, March hearing date. I'm not sure what that is. March 16th, staff and the applicant are working on a text amendment that will be making its way through Planning Commission and City Council early next year.
Do we have a motion to continue item 2 to March 16?
Motion to continue to March 16th.
A second?
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Item 3, 605 Eastwood Road, 3 Cardinal Drive and 7 Cardinal Drive. Applicant has requested to continue this item to the January 19 meeting. Do we have a motion?
Make a motion to continue to January 19th.
Do we have a second?
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
The item before us today, new business, is 5309 Petrol Court.
Good afternoon, Mr. Chairman, members of the board. This is 5309 Petrol Court, request for a floodplain waiver. On October 31st, 2022, planning staff accepted an application for a variance to the city's 2-foot freeboard requirement for an addition to a home in the special flood hazard area pursuant to City Code Chapter 18, Land Development Code Section 18270B. The entire lot is located within a special flood hazard area as determined by the Federal Emergency Management Agency and the Flood Insurance Rate Map Panel 3146, map number 37203146000K, effective August 28, 2018. The rear of the lot is located within the limit of moderate wave action line, and the proposed addition will not encroach into the coastal A zone, nor does it constitute as a substantial improvement. FEMA and City Code Section 18693 defines substantial improvement as any repair, reconstruction, rehabilitation, addition, or other improvements to the structure, the cost of which equals or exceeds 50% of the market value of the structure before the start of construction. The cost of the substantial improvement is determined by adding the cost of all repairs and reconstruction carried out in the 5-year period immediately preceding the proposed repairs and reconstruction to the cost of the proposed repairs and reconstruction. The current flood zone, based on the effective firm, is AE with a base flood elevation of 12 feet. FEMA standards for development in a special flood hazard area require that all new or substantially improved buildings be elevated at or above BFE, in this case 12 feet above mean sea level. The City of Wilmington has adopted higher standards for floodplain development. Land Development Code Section 18270B requires all new construction be elevated at least 2 feet above BFE. Such additional elevation is known as freeboard. In AE flood zones, the elevation of the structure is measured from mean sea level to the top of the first finished floor. The required elevation of the addition would be 14 feet in this case, which is 12-foot base flood elevation plus the 2-foot freeboard. On or about September 23rd, 2022, an application for a non-substantial addition was submitted with construction plans indicating the proposed addition would be built to the same elevations as the existing home. The application has since been withdrawn, and a new one will need to be permitted prior to any construction. On October 4th, 2022, an elevation certificate was completed showing the top of the bottom floor, the crawl space, at 8.4 feet, and the top of the next higher floor at 12.5 feet, which complies with FEMA standards, but not the city's higher standards. The applicant is requesting a waiver of 1.5 feet from the city's 2-foot freeboard requirement for the addition. The proposed non-substantial addition will need to meet all other floodplain standards, such as floodproofing or venting any enclosed area under base flood elevation. This matter is set for hearing before the Board of Adjustment today, December 15th, 2022. This case is subject to the 11 factors I have placed on the screen, and I ask that this presentation and all materials be submitted into the record. I'm available for any questions, and the applicant is here as well.
Thank you. Any questions for staff? Okay, thank you. Did you guys have a presentation you wish to give to this morning, this afternoon? Sure, come on up.
I'm Sarah Perry. I'm the resident of 5309 Petrol Court. The only additional thing to kind of mention, it's in the packet that you all have, like what the addition details include. So basically, the only area that we're requesting that waiver on would be the first floor. We're building like a small office. It's maybe 9 by 12 at most. That's the only part of the addition that we need the waiver for. The rest of the addition is on the second floor. So really the only part that we need that 18 inches is going to be that office area that will basically connect to our living room. And I do have some pictures of the existing outside of the home if you would like to see what that looks like. Sure. In addition, the only other thing I had brought with me is the flood insurance policy that we have that shows that we've never had a flood claim since the building of this home in '95.
Okay.
So.
Yes, you can, and they need to be presented as evidence.
Okay.
Yeah. And I've been to your house, so I've seen it.
Excuse me?
I said, I've been to your house, so I've seen it.
Oh, yeah.
And you'll see in the photographs, the office area basically is squares off the back of the home, so it's not really going to go any closer to the creek than our existing home. That kind of shows the back door of our garage, so that will be closed off. The office will be built there at the height of the existing home, and it'll kind of connect to that, where that window is, so you can kind of see the picture. It's a pretty small area. And although it is a small space, the structure of the office is critical for the build because it will be structural support for the room above it.
Right.
So
Okay.
that's
Are there any
that's
questions?
all I have, but I'm
Okay.
happy to answer questions.
Are there any questions for the applicant? Okay, thank you very much.
Okay, thank you.
Is there anyone here to speak in favor of or opposed to the proposed variance? Seeing no one, I'll close the public hearing and open it up for board discussion. We've had this come before the board several times on existing construction, and I'm really fine with, because it does meet FEMA's requirement, and it does allow for the flooring to be contiguous throughout the house without stepping up or stepping down, so I don't have any problem with the variance request. Any more discussion? Well, if there's no discussion, I would like to propose that we grant the waiver based on the 11 findings of fact and allow the construction to remain at the requested height.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. Thank you very much. You want your pictures back?
Keep the photos for the file.
You can't have them back.
Sorry, thank you. I mean, we could make a copy of them in the office. Oh, okay.
Thank you. We do have one item of, I guess, additional business. We've had a little bit of a discussion up here. We all like the notebooks. Well, I don't know if Tyler does or not, but is there a way to go back to the notebooks rather than virtually receiving the documents?
If everyone would like to receive a hard copy, yes, we can continue to do that.
Okay. It's just easier when I'm visiting the properties, for me anyway, to flip through the book if I have a question than to try to enlarge the screen on my phone and scroll through on my phone, so.
I mean, would it necessarily need to be a notebook? Could it just be, like, planning packages used to just be just this, you know, we didn't have to have the tabs and all that, because we could orchestrate that, because it has to be labor intensive to do, so I don't know.
We could just go back to standard packets. We could continue with the binders. We work for you guys, so you tell us what your preference is.
Well, I mean, if we've got one or two cases, this is fine, but, you know, like, if we have 17 cases, the binder's kind of nice to have.
Okay.
Do we need to vote on that, or have we already voted on that?
We will take your directive.
Okay, thank you. If there's no further business before the Board of Adjustment today, we stand adjourned.
Nope, sorry,
We're not adjourned, we're back.
sorry. Did you all receive the 2023 calendar proposed? Was it on your agenda?
I think so.
No, it does
No.
not appear that it was.
No.
Okay, then I believe that in January, you'll have the 2023 calendar to vote on. I do believe you voted on your January meeting date back in 2021, so at the next meeting, you'll vote on the 2023 calendar. But note that all dates will continue to stay the third Thursday of every month.
Okay, and you had the parking decals, are we going to get those today, or you want to check into?
You have to bring me the ticket,
Oh, I got you, okay.
and once you grab the ticket out of the machine, then you bring it to the meeting, and I have stickers that I put
On
onto the
sticker.
actual ticket
Perfect.
themselves.
Okay, thank you. We didn't have a motion. I haven't seen the last of the minutes, so. Pardon? No, thank you very much. We stand adjourned.